Onside Gaming versus Berserker Esports, and now we are getting into DKZ Gaming versus Shopify Rebellion.
All right, and there we go. We have the two ace players, ByuN and Dark there.
Here we go. This is going to be a very high-profile match. Shopify Rebellion are one of the teams that made it to the playoffs last season, and they have quite a strong roster as well, but they're up against DKZ Gaming, a team of champions.
Yeah, this is a very strong team that DKZ is fielding here. We have Dark, Oliveira, Hero. They are pretty close to three of the best of their race there. But here we go. We are going to be jumping straight into this first match, getting on with it. And it's going to be Harstem game one.
Yeah, it just goes to show like the power of DKZ Gaming. Even though Shopify Rebellion have some heavy hitters, even though they've got some of the best in Europe and some of the best in Korea, even then, like, it's still going to be a bit of an uphill battle here, as it looks like they've actually updated Dark's score a little bit. He's got a lot more nines than I'm used to.
Yeah, Dark just definitely getting a big nod here. It's still only an A player.
I mean, he hasn't won a GSL recently, you know. He hasn't taken a big championship, which I think is what they're looking for. But yeah, apparently still an A-tier player, still quite powerful in his own right there, and it's going to be on Harstem to try and slip him up in this ZVP, which I'm sure he can. You know, Harstem, he can be a very methodical player. He's got a lot up his sleeve. As spawning in the top right-hand corner for Shopify Rebellion, it is Harstem.
And in the bottom left-hand corner of the map for DKZ Gaming, this is Dark.
Oh boy, here we go. And oh, no one's got cams. Oh, what happened?
Let me tell it, just like we've had enough of all of this. No cams, no talking, no nothing. Best behavior.
Do you think? I was thinking the other way. I was thinking Dark has his camera, but maybe it's just not safe for work. You know, it's just they're refusing to show. And now it's more than just a harness, Papi. Oh my god.
Right, so there we go. We do have the unnatural natural being forced for Dark.
There we go. It is being forced out. This is, now that I think about it as well, it's really odd to not have cameras for this one, just because if you remember, Harstem is one of the few players that actually like had a little celebration like for winning. Like it's not something we see so often, but he's shown that before.
Yeah, a bit of a shame. He is one that we used to see it a lot in the last season or two, where people would kind of bring props in and have their own set celebrations. But we haven't been seeing it that much this season. But Harstem's kind of been keeping up that tradition, so it's a shame.
It is a shame. It is. My favorite is still when Cure lost last week. It was, oh god, was it Maxid? Was it Cure? Was it Maxid who beat Cure? It wasn't Silky.
Cyan.
That's it. It was Cyan who beat Cure, and for his celebration, he had a bottle of pills, and he was like, he stopped himself from taking the cure, Papi. He stopped himself. Oh.
Hey, what's the cure for PVT?
Oh my god, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Shout out to Cyan, I should say, specifically for that, but. Of course, we have a series on our hands here. Nothing too crazy to begin with. As you were saying, Hatchigas pull from Dark. Unnatural third base, as to be expected. My eyes are on Harstem, though, because Harstem has been showing quite a wide breadth of openers in PvZ. He's been willing to mix things up and not just play Stargate every game. We've seen him go for some weird openers, like going for a Robo into a Disruptor job, or going for a Twilight Council into Glaives. Just things that are more aggressive. And even here, I'm not convinced, as we are going to get that Stargate opener.
Yeah, as much as Harstem does usually tend to play standard, he is a very open-minded player strategically, and he does have these phases that he goes through where he's just very interested in something a little bit weird, a little bit out of left field, and he will mix that in.
Yeah, we'll see if he is in one of those phases. As for the time being, everything is quite normal from this Stargate. We should be seeing an Oracle coming out so we can harass across the map and get our third base up and running. But again, it's going to be what the follow-up is going to be. I feel like if Harstem were to play triple Oracle into Blink, into +1, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of what Dark wants. I feel like Dark thrives when his opponent plays standard and plays normal against him.
Yeah, definitely. And Doc can find some really awkward timings to hit his opponent with, which can be really scary to deal with, especially if you're a player that does play a bit more predictably. Or I think Harstem at times has had some issues with being a little bit lax with scouting, a little bit on the greedier side.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree, and I'm concerned because Dark, he threw down a 3-minute 30 Roach Warren, which is very early, especially considering he's not up against a Twilight Council opener as well. So he may be looking to make use of that, and maybe looking to be quite aggressive here on Royal Blood.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like he wants to put some pressure on. Harstem himself is delaying throwing down this third Nexus just a little bit.
Yeah, he's actually banking up his first Oracle back at home. Maybe he wants to make it look like a Twilight Council opener. As we can see, Dark is being forced to make units out and roaches as well, which would be amazing against the Twilight Council. Not so much here against the Stargate as the Oracles are moving on out, and it looks like the Oracles have been revealed.
Yeah, Duck is droning now, so possibly he got a bit bamboozled. He definitely got bamboozled.
Yeah,
There's no spore. Wow, amazing stuff from Harstem. I missed it because I just don't know enough about ZVP, but I know that there is a second gateway timing that you can go for to make it look like you're going for a Twilight opener, just because typically with the Stargate opener, you can delay your second gate by quite a bit. So
Yeah.
I would imagine that that was part of this as well.
Yeah, I imagine so, and I just love that he was keeping his oracles intentionally, just to, and not just keeping his oracles at home, but also delaying the third base as well, just to bamboozle Dark. And now 9 drones have gone down, making it well worth it.
Yeah, that was beautiful stuff coming out from Harstem. Really clever game planning, and you love to see it.
Oh. And you know what? He's not stopping. He's actually got a 4th Oracle in the way behind this. So he's going to have quite a lot to work with. And we see why. This is the Harstem that I know that we were able to cast recently. He's going straight into Sky Toss.
Gross.
He did this against who he played? He played against a Zerg player last week in WTL and did the exact same thing. Obviously not the opener where he tricked his opponents by going into the Oracles, but the Sky Toss transition. Aye.
Yeah, this is dirty, but behind this we do have Dark looking to put on some pressure. He does have those Ravagers, so he can look to bio down batteries. A Ling run by heading in towards the natural, and the Oracles are caught out of position, so this could get a little bit scary for Harstem.
Oh, it really could, as the Oracles are busy across map. They don't even get the Queen. The Biles will connect as well. We only have a single Stalker to hold on. Shield Battery is going to be going down, and once it does crumble, these things are going to have their way with that Mineral Lion.
Oh, yeah. Already 8 probes going down. That damage being equalized just like that. Looks like the Adepts were caught across the map as well, so just perfect timing coming out from Dark, and 11 probes going down. That's pretty much equalized, but I don't feel like... I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't say equalized just because there's a carrier on the way.
You're not wrong, Pap. You're not wrong. Also, it's coming back to me, and shout out to the people in the chat who maybe remember this as well. Last week, Harstem played against a laser on Neo Humanity, and he did this exact same thing. And I remember casting, I think I may have been casting with Kuro or Yaku, and I was like, I mean, Harstem, he's the captain for a reason, okay? Going into the carriers. And this hasn't been scouted yet. That's the thing. Like, Dark has no idea what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, Dark, he's got a pressure of his own coming. He's got quite a lot of roaches in production. If he can hit before there's too many carriers out, he might be able to get some damage even with the carriers, DPSing down the units.
Yeah, he's walling the Queens across the map as well. He is just going to be sending everything he has. Or as she was waddling the roaches, my apologies. But we have another shield battery. We have an overcharge. We have an army. And I believe we have one carrier. I don't know if this is really going to be enough to break the third.
Yeah, Harstem would love to push this back before he has to reveal the carriers. I'm sure he wants to reveal these carriers as late as possible. But here we go. They are going to be showing themselves now. Let's see how Dark's going to respond. It looks like he is still going to commit to getting some damage. Makes a lot of sense. The Oracle's coming back home as well. Going to be cleaning up all of those Lings.
Yeah, exactly. Lings are going to be cleaned up by said Oracles. The Roaches are trading well against the ground army, but we're not getting any economic damage done. The carriers will protect the third.
Yeah, and here I think what would be a really cool move from Dark is to split up his units. It looks like he's already doing that, where he's just attacking with a few roaches at the third to keep the carriers back there, and he's going to be running into the natural. This is something he is so good at, splitting up his units and causing chaos, and this is just perfect against what Harstem is doing.
Yeah, we've got roaches at the third, in the natural, and in the main base as well. That one cannon is messing up the AI a little bit, actually both in the natural and the third base. But so we're actually not losing too many workers here, but there we go. The probe count is going higher and higher. The probe kill count even.
Yeah, already 20 going down, and there is just so much damage potential here at the third, despite the cannons, despite Harstem's best wishes here. This timing for Dark working quite effectively.
Yeah, this is just buying so much time for Dark because as soon as the carrier was revealed, he threw down a Spire. The Spire is more than halfway done already. We're taking our gases, we're saturating our fourth base. Dark has crippled the economy of Harstem, and now he has the room to get into some anti-air.
Yeah, and Dark is so good in these kind of wild game states. He's just fantastic at the multitasking, at making these little run-bys just happen constantly and causing chaos, and it's so good against this kind of playstyle.
Yeah, it really is. And Harstem just doesn't have the momentum. He doesn't have the economy to really sustain his carrier production right now. He's only making one at a time despite having so many more of those Stargates. He's got +1 air attack on the way as well. Unfortunately, he just doesn't have any pushing potential. He's stuck at home, stuck turtling, while Dark can do whatever he wants on his side of the map.
Yeah, and there we go. The Corruptors are on the way, and this is pretty rough for Harstem because he's basically all in on the carriers now.
He really is. And the problem is that if he moves out with the carriers now, he may lose them. Like, he doesn't really have a critical mass of carriers to protect themselves. He's going to be pushing into Queens, into Spores, and into Corruptors as they are coming out as we speak. So Harstem's just in a really awkward position. He's being active with his Oracles, but that's really all he can be active with.
Yeah, and he is looking to just use those oracles to get scouting. So he throws down the revelation and sees those gases as well. Back at home, we see, okay, we've got Flux Veins on the way as well. So he's anticipating the Corruptor switch. He is just going to be going full Sky Toss here.
Yeah, we've got Void Rays to protect the carriers against the Corruptors. We've got Disruptors to deal with the ground army as well. This is all well and good, but he doesn't have the numbers. That's the thing. He's only got a handful of Void Rays. He's going to have one Disruptor. Like, he just needs more time to build up his supply. Meanwhile, Dark is close to maxed out.
Yeah, okay. He does have these links running across the side of the map as well, trying to take down this fourth, trying to deny the fourth, abusing the lack of mobility of Harstem's army. And oh yeah, the Corruptor's going to be jumping on top of the carriers. One of them going down already, and this looks like a kill move right away for Dark.
Yeah, 2 carriers go down, and that's already half of the carriers gone for Harstem. It just goes to show how little economy he has, how little resources he has to actually make carriers, and already that was a great pick off from Dark.
Yeah, so Dark just looking to keep sharking around, keep accumulating the value here. He's playing a really solid game and really active game as well.
Yeah, and he's just taking up even further, just in case he needs it. He's throwing down a Hydrogen. I imagine we're going to be throwing down a Lurker Den as well afterwards, just in case. We've got our upgrades on the way. Harstem is slowly taking a fourth, but Dark, once he is maxed out, once again, he's going to be looking to trade and pick off whatever carriers his opponent has. I believe Harstem still only has 2. Oh.
Yeah, we do get a revelation on the Corruptors. There's so many Corruptors here for Dark. He's just looking to hammer through this army.
Yeah, he really is. And we do have a couple of Archons to protect those carriers. To be fair, they are going to be able to zone away those Corruptors when we spread them out. We dive in anyway. We don't even care.
Yeah, we're just diving straight on top of this. The Archons, they're getting good damage on the Corruptors. It doesn't matter here. The Roach is going to be focusing those down. Dark, absolutely brutal with his attacks. Gets the GG. And big reaction.
Big reaction from the big man himself. GG, well played. Dark does take the first game. A really strong start from Harstem. A really cheeky move to kind of fake out a Twilight Council opener versus Dark and to get a lot of economic damage done. It was really well done, really well played. But this transition was lacking a little bit just because you cut so many corners to rush into carriers like that. You lack a lot. You lack a lot of defensive units and defensive capability. And Dark, I mean, he's all about the aggression, Papi. Like, he didn't even know what he was pushing into, but he was still able to deal so much damage.
Yeah, and I mean, that Ling run by did so much damage at the start. But here we go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner for Shopify Rebellion is Harstem.
And in the bottom right-hand corner for DKZ Gaming, it is Dark.
Yeah, I think it kind of did come down to that Ling Ravager run by where Harstem just happened to have moved out with his 5 Adepts and his 3 Oracles.
Exactly. He just happened to be active on the map, and alas, he lost so much back at home. So it meant that the opener, as amazing as it was, just didn't quite pay off in the end. It wasn't able to give him the lead that he was really looking for. And just like that, we have a 1-0 deficit for our captain, for our European Protoss player. And we'll see if he can bring it back here in game 2.
Yeah, okay. We do get the block on the natural once again. Dark hasn't caught on to the overhatch yet.
True, he doesn't. Even Cyril's been doing it, but Dark, not yet, Bobby, not yet. Should I tell him to subscribe so he gets replays? Should I?
Not a bad idea.
Yeah. Oh god, as yeah, for the time being, pretty standard stuff. I'm a little bit upset that Dark isn't going for a proxy hatch. I would have loved to have seen that here in game 2, but he's just gonna be calming down, taking things slow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nothing too crazy yet. No 12 pool.
Smooth, Pappy, smooth. Have you experienced? I think we've spoken about it before. Have you experienced Dark proxy hatching people on Gressvan?
Yeah. Just outside on the left there.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
Nasty. I think I saw it get held though.
Yeah. I think we have seen it held as well. Yeah, Dark has been having some mixed success with it. I think initially he was getting a lot of wins against like Hero and Classic and even Max Packs. But because after a week or so, because he had been doing it so much, then people caught on and they've been refining their defenses against it on Gressvan.
Yeah, it does look like it's a bit of a nice edge builder, even when it's scouted. Not scouted, sorry.
For sure. As once again, we do see Harstem going for that Stargate opener, just like we saw in that previous game. Is everything okay, Puppy?
Yeah.
All good? Yeah, okay. Fair enough. I've actually never experienced an earthquake myself. That's not something that's happened here in Sydney before. Or at least I can't. Yeah.
You can tell it's not that bad when you have to check Twitter to make sure it actually happened.
You're like, did like, was it like just a strange movement in the building, or like was?
Yeah, I thought someone just messed up parking and like hit one of the supports downstairs or something. I don't know. I've experienced one before this. There was a lot more exciting. It was like early in the morning, and I may have been with a friend, and we may or may have not been wearing clothes. We like ran out of the room because we thought the house was like collapsing. So we just like ran into the hallway.
You run outside the house into the lawn, and you just, yeah.
It's quite funny.
Did you get your most treasured belongings?
What would that be? It wasn't my house.
Okay. Fair enough. Oh my god. But yeah, thankfully everything's okay. Thankfully, as we are getting into this game once again. We do have Dark throwing down that much earlier Roach Warren here. Roaches are already being produced as we speak. And I was a little bit engrossed here. Once again, yeah, Harstem, he actually delayed his oracles, just like game number 1. Oh my god.
Oh no, the chat.
What's going
Your most
on?
treasured belongings. Yes, that came with me.
Oh, what came with you, Papi?
No, nothing. Distracted by, interrupted by the earthquake.
Oh god.
As we do have Dark once again putting on some very heavy pressure at the third.
I still wouldn't get it.
Oh no.
Oh god. As long as they're looking to counterattack here and hit the third base, we do get a couple of those steps, but the positioning is just too damn good. At least it does force Harstem to turn back around, and that will give Dark an opportunity to get ready for those oracles.
You'd be like, oh, there wasn't an earthquake. I just rocked your world.
Oh god. I'll leave it at that. As the Oracles did get across the map into the natural base, getting a couple extra drone kills here and there wherever they can, but only 3 drones for the time being. Last could have been a lot worse as Dark was able to prepare. And we're gonna actually make use of those roaches from the early game. We throw down a Nidus.
Okay, so wow, he just weaves the gap between all of the detection of Harstem. Harstem has been extremely active with his oracles. He is really trying to work out what is going on, but this Nidus is just perfectly placed. Harstem is looking to scout just about everything except that one spot. Does he see it? I think he just sees, okay, he sees it for sure.
Yeah, there we go. Dark, he was threading the needle, but Harstem, he finally does get eyes on what is coming his way. A Void Ray starts up immediately. He turns back around. He's rushing back home. The Nidus is on the way. Dark knows he got scouted, so he's not going for a Nidus into the main base. The Nidus is actually outside the natural.
Yeah, okay, really nice. But oh yeah, Harstem is going to spot it. So good job from Harstem being so active. He will catch this out. And well, looks like the Queens are going to be committed, but oh, the Queens at the front, they didn't have the energy for transfuse. Bit of a mistake from Dark.
The low energy Queens are going to be going down. 3 Queens go down immediately. This is not a good start for Dark. Once again, he goes for a Nidus into the main base, but no, the boys are being pulled. And Harstem is holding behind this Dark. He is droning.
Yeah, so Harstem does hold this initial pressure coming out. He does have that Blink on the way as well. Blink almost finished, and Blink will make this a lot easier to deal with.
Boy, exactly. And with that, Harstem has survived the initial aggression here from Dark. This does set Dark behind. We can see in the worker count as well. He's behind in drones. He is trying to catch up, trying to take a 4th base. Has to be careful though, because there's a Void Ray out there. Harstem can be looking to deny that.
Yeah, and Evo's only just coming down now, so he's pretty far behind when it comes to the upgrades. We do have Roach Speed on the way, but the +2 from Harstem should be finishing around the same time as the 1-1 of Dark.
Exactly. So Harstem just so far ahead in those upgrades, so far ahead in this game, period, after defending that Nidus. We have a 4th base being thrown down behind his army, now he's being active with those Blink Stalkers. Blink is done, by the way. He can dance with the army. Just has to be careful not to get surrounded.
Yeah, and the Lings, they are threatening to surround, but the Oracles come in to save the day. We are going to be dodging out those Biles as well. Neat movement from Harstem to still get that Revelation, and he's going into Storm behind this. I'm really liking that.
Interesting. So despite the fact that we've been seeing a lot of Colossus play here in the mid game of PvZ, he is avoiding the Colossi. He's going for Storm and Archons instead. A little bit more of a maneuverable army here. It does keep the pressure up on the Zerg player, and yeah, we'll see how Harstem can do with this.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like Harstem, he's almost going for a bit more of a defensive setup now.
Yeah, he's looking to try to hold on to his 4th base, just take his lead and keep going with it as the 4th is going to get up and running. Meanwhile, Dark, in the midst of all this, has been rushing his tech out. We have a Hive about to finish up for Dark. We have that Lurker Den on the way.
Okay, so yeah, Charge, Storm, +2 all on the way for Harstem. Lurker's on the way for Dark, and that's really going to help Dark stabilize, especially on a bigger map like this that we often see split. I do feel like Lurkers going up against Storm does mean that we're going to be going into a bit more of a late game now.
Oh, and I love this from Harstem. So I was about to praise Dark for recognizing that he's behind and recognizing that he would have to muster up a massive army here, an anti-ground toss army. And he is, to be fair, you know, we were able to get into the Hive and get into the Lurkers. But as Dark gets into that, Harstem is one step ahead. He's skipping the Colossi, skipping the Robotech. He's going straight into Sky Toss.
Yeah, I love it. That's a really good decision here coming out from Harstem, realizing that Dark is not going to be committing to any attack in the near future, and he will be just skipping on ahead. So great strategic play coming out from Harstem.
Yeah, it really is. And Dark, he can't quite be too active with these Lurkers yet, nor without at least the other Hive upgrades. So for the time being, Dark is going to be more defensive. He's going to try and catch back up economically. He's got more bases on the way. He's trying to recover. But as he does this, the first carrier is on the way.
Yeah, okay, carry on the way. Ooh, and Infestor's on the way for Dark. Classic stylish play coming out from Dark. He is well known for this kind of composition.
Yeah, it really is. And we'll see what Harstem can do here. Again, he should be looking just to poke and prod and clear up creep. I'll be surprised if he tries to push himself up the ramp, especially with this Revelation. He does get eyes on the Lurkers.
Yeah, okay, the Lurkers have been spotted. We do have Storm here to protect the army, so pretty much free pickoffs from that low ground here.
Yeah, exactly. We can even Storm if we wanted to, if we had a little bit better saturation on that base. Regardless, 3 drones do go down. Dark, still not the best economy is available to him as Harstem just keeps on pushing forward. Is dancing with death, though. He has to be very careful not to commit.
Yeah, good revelation, though. So he spots out most of where the Lurkers are. Looks like he's going to try to pick off a few, but no. There's just the spread's a little bit too well played from Dark.
Oh, exactly. We don't want to push up that ramp, and Harstem is fully aware of that, but he is at least posturing here to make sure no creep is spread. Meanwhile, a very important scout from Dark. He does dive into the main base with his Overseer. He hasn't seen the production yet. He's actually going for a Nidus.
Yeah, Nidus is on the way, but the carrier pops at the perfect time for Harstem. A little bit unfortunate there.
Oh, exactly. As the carriers are revealed, now Dark is fully aware of the Scottish transition. The Lurkers are looking to try and surround, but one Lurker goes down immediately.
Yeah, Harstem catches him, not quite looking at his army there, but we do have the flank coming in from Dark. This is beautifully set up, almost like he was baiting him.
Yeah, exactly. The High Templar were so exposed. 2-3 of them go down immediately. We have some decent storms, but some good trades from Dark as he backs off and he's committing into Hydro, Lurker, and Viper. This can deal with a low amount of carriers. No Spire yet, though, which is a little bit concerning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no Spire coming down just yet, and there's going to be a pretty huge amount of carriers, so Dark needs to get some damage done here.
He really does, as once again he's being active with his Roach army in the middle of the map. Does confirm the location of Harstem. We do have an Nidus towards the bottom left, but nothing is quite committed yet here, as Dark is still gathering that energy, still working on his Hydra tech, on his Vipers as well. Is going to be actually incorporating even more Infestors.
Yeah, we do have the Observer just showing that Dark hasn't really seen what's going on here. I'm sure he has seen, well, he saw the carriers with the Nidus, but it feels like he is, pretty scant on answers for this.
Yeah, like the problem is that Dark saw the carriers, but he doesn't know like how long Harstem has been making carriers. Like he doesn't know how long Harstem has been working on this tech. And here we go, the 4 carriers are revealing themselves. It looks like Dark may be relying upon Neural and even Microbial Shrouds with his Infestors to try to support his army. It can work. There aren't that many High Templar remaining after the mid game.
Yeah, I have actually seen Dark take surprisingly good trades using Microbial.
Yeah, like it can work quite well. Like we only have 3 High Templar with the army, so not too many storms to deal with those Hydras. So this can work, but it's going to be on a knife's edge. It's going to be very heavily reliant on how both the players control their armies.
Yeah, and Harstem once again looking to abuse this angle. Nice revelations coming down. We'll be spotting out most of these lurkers here, but this is a very solid defensive position from Dark. I love how he's placed these spores.
Yeah, the spores are spread out, the lurkers as well, but we have the storms on the mineral line. The entire drone line is going to be going down here. But again, we're also kind of wasting storms on workers, not on the army, but we have the feedbacks.
Great feedbacks on the Vipers here, but there still are the Infestors. There are the Microbials as well, and we have lost quite a few of these Interceptors. Harstem has to be very careful here not to overcommit.
Yeah, exactly. As he does push on forward, another storm does connect on those lurkers. We can see the Vipers are trying to regather that energy. They don't really have what it takes to abduct. I think we have 1 in the chamber. Oh.
Yeah, and there we go. Nice little counterattack coming out from Dark with the Roaches, with the Ravages as well. Harstem is pretty heavily committed. Oh, and the Nidus goes down to support it as well.
Oh, we have that Nidus across the map as well. We do have that counterattack doing a lot of damage. 8 probes going down. Meanwhile, Harstem was a little bit too... he did kind of overextend with his army. He lost, I want to say, 3 High Templar to those lurkers.
Yeah, pretty punishing there. Dark does get up the evacuation Nidus as well.
Does manage to recall out of there, and overall I do think that Dark traded better. He did lose some workers, and we can see that here in the overall worker count, where he is down to less than 69 drones. Meanwhile, looks like he has finally accepted his fate. 2 Spires are thrown down alongside an Ultra Cannon.
Yeah, okay, so he's just opening up his tech options here. How does this work? Is this for double upgrades and ultras in the meantime?
Yeah, like upgrades is so important, especially against carriers. To get into carrier base, to get into +1 air attack as well, or even to get upgrades and also get a greater Spire at the same time as we transition out of Hydro Lurker Viper. So it's going to be a slow kind of transition though, because again, this is a very late Spire, and because that Harstem is going to have a big window where he can make use of this Sky Toss.
Yeah, it feels like Harstem has the army that he wants, and Dark kind of has a stopgap army here.
Exactly. And he needs more time, as once again, more storms are going to be denying mining at the center base. Dark, as a result, is going to be taking a more defensive role until he gets the army that he wants, and that's why he has quite a lot of supply invested in these spores and in these queens as well. The Nidus is going to be so important for Dark to actually harass in some way and do some damage across the map.
Yeah, that's right. But meanwhile, for Harstem, he has +3 air attack on the way, as well as that +2 air defense. So he's in a really good spot here.
He really is, as all the Spore Forest is not yet done. A lot of these spores are going to be going down before they can even finish. Microbial Shrouds are thrown down to support these Queens, but we have some feedbacks.
Oh, insane fungals on these as well. But we do have the Storm here. Cloud is thrown down, and Harstem complies.
Yeah, he does back off. It looks like Dark is able to take a decent fight here, but he did lose half of his spores, and he will have to replace and replenish said spores if he wants to try to take another fight. More infestors are on the way as well, as he did lose a couple. Oh, and thankfully he does have a lurker here towards the south, but we are a little bit vulnerable to these Zealot run-bys.
Yeah, Zealot run-bys are going to be pretty annoying. We do have a lurker set up there, so it should be able to clean them up eventually, but Harstem's doing a really good job of just keeping the drone count of Dark low, and it's making it really awkward for him to keep the economy up.
Yeah, the other dangerous thing is that Dark has been rotating all of his spores over. He actually doesn't have too much to protect that center base, as we are going to be rotating over towards the south. Instead, we have the Microbial Shroud. Another feedback on that Viper, just not allowing Dark to ever abduct.
Yeah, beautiful stuff there, getting those feedbacks on the Vipers. There's still so many infestors, so this is slow going for Harstem, but I think he is happy to just pick away, just trade interceptors for damage here.
I mean, he's gaining ground. Like, he is killing so many spores. Here towards the south, there are only like 4 or 5 spores remaining, so Dark is looking very vulnerable there. He has to rebuild them. Meanwhile, we do rotate back over towards the northern side, and the Queens aren't here yet.
Yeah, the Queens are not here. We do see more of those upgrades being filled out for Dark, and the first few Ultras on the way, as well as Knight is popping up somewhere. It looks like, okay, down towards the south. Harstem has so many bases already. He's just really in such a great spot. It feels like this is his game to lose from here.
It really does, as Dark finally rotates over with his army. Again, I do feel like we are still lacking some spores here to support him, but he's going to be looking to hold on for the time being. The High Templar before, they do get some feedbacks.
Oh, yeah, nice feedbacks again. Harstem has been so sharp with that.
Every single Viper was feedback. Oh my god, like we haven't seen a single abduct this entire game yet. We just haven't had the opportunity, and Dark has to back off, transfuse, regather that energy, and Harstem rotates back in. He's going to be able to get some of these lurkers.
Yeah, the lurker's going to be pushed back. We do have a lot of spores going down as well, so Harstem is continuing to take good trades. We have so many Queens here for Dark, so we do have to be careful not to overcommit.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Harstem is just heavily reliant on just out-positioning Dark. Every single time he rotates over, the Queens are having a hard time keeping up as more spores and more of these lurkers go down. Good fungal, able to take down a good chunk of those interceptors, but look at the banks here for Harstem. Like, he can afford to lose interceptors.
Yeah, he definitely can. He's got a very healthy mineral bank. Dark himself doesn't have that bad a bank. He's got a good gas bank here.
He does have a good gas bank, but we need more minerals. Once again, we have feedbacks, but we do manage to just barely yoink that mothership, and it will go down.
Yeah, the -400, of course. As is tradition, we do have looks like the Microbial are going to be doing a good job of protecting these Queens from the carriers, but we are getting up into an absolutely insane carrier count. Some of those storms kind of going down on the interceptors as well. The fungal really helps with that, just locking them in place.
Yeah, a rough hold position though from Dark. He did lose 4 or 5 of his infestors there. So many of them going down.
Yeah, a lot of infestors going down. We do have the Ultras running in underneath those carriers. Going to be taking out the High Templar on the ground, but okay, that is a huge fungal.
Yeah, massive fungal on those interceptors, but do we have anything else? We have 1 Euro remaining, but we have lost every single infestor, and now the snowball is here.
Yeah, the infestors are going down. It looks like we are almost out of anti-air on the ground here as those last few spores are being taken out. Harstem finally breaking on through, and I think he has just about done it. What have we got coming out from Dark to Remax? He is starting to make those corruptors now. Yeah,
they are 1-1 corruptors. Not the best upgrades, unfortunately. The mass carrier is looking to overwhelm and focus down as much as he can. The Queens, the infestors falling. We weren't able to rebuild and replace those spores. The Ultras go for a massive counterattack, a bit of a desperation move coming out from Dark.
Yeah, but there is just so much going down here. Dark is going to get some good damage with the Ultras, and I mean, those Ultras is crazy that they're even alive. They just take so much damage from the interceptors.
Yeah, they're doing well for themselves, but eventually they'll be cleaned up, and there is still no answer to these carriers. What do we have to defend? We have, I want to say, 16 Corruptors. We have a couple of Infestors as well, but Infestors are not the most ideal supportive unit for Corruptors.
Yeah, and I mean, Harstem's already got the Void Rays. 5 Void Rays already with the army, 4 more in production, so he is going to be absolutely fine against these Corruptors. Dark's not going to let it get to that. GG is called, and Harstem tying up the series.
GG, very well played. Harstem takes a game off of Dark, and that is a big win here for Shopify Rebellion. We were talking about it earlier, but DKZ, they have just such an insane lineup. Every single one of their players is basically an ace player, and for Harstem to cause this upset is huge.
Yeah, fantastic win for Harstem there. And now we have next up a banger of a TVZ. Scarlett coming up against Oliveira, and depending on the kind of form that Scarlett comes in, this could be a very close game.
Oh, exactly. We have seen Scarlett go toe-to-toe with the best Terrans in the world in the past, but it's all about current form, as you were saying. You know, Oliveira, he isn't that IM championship winning form that we know him to be, but we have seen him look decently good against Cyril, and like, it's one of those things where we've seen Cyril bop Oliveira before, but it's Cyril, you know, like he can make the best of them look bad. So I do think that he is going to be coming in as a slight favorite against Scarlett.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, yeah, if they're both in their top form, I can definitely see Oliveira taking it. But yeah, if Oliveira comes in a bit off, if Scarlett is having a particularly good day, I could see it's going either way.
100%. As we're getting ready for our second matchup. Oh, and again, when it comes to the first one, shout out to Harstem for his ability to, or for his kind of unique play. Both games, he kind of went for this really interesting kind of delayed Oracle push to kind of lure his opponent into a false sense of security. But more importantly, what really set Dark behind that game was his failed Nidus play, because he was very committed with it. And if you remember, like, he was so far behind after that failed. Like, he was behind in bases, in upgrades, in drones, in almost every aspect, and he had to claw his way back in.
Yeah, definitely. So great defense coming out from Harstem, scouted it at the perfect time, and just played a clinical Skytoss game from there.
Yeah, it was his solid defense, and then his quick transition into Skytoss afterwards. So, Harstem taking full advantage of that situation. Oh boy, as we get ready for our second matchup, and yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. I haven't seen too much of Scarlett's ZVT recently, I'll be honest.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, there aren't that many Terrans and ESL Masters Americas as a result as well, to kind of get an idea of where that that matchup is for her.
Yeah, I mean, she did take out a Surgeon Killazur, so that's a pretty impressive result on its own. I believe she won 3-1 against him in the semis. So that's a very solid result. That shows that she is still in great form, because I think Killazur has been in very good form himself. But it's going to take more than just good form. It's going to take exceptional form to take out Oliveira.
100%. And hey, you know, we can see that. We have seen that from Scarlett in the past. I'll always remember it was I think 2 months ago now, Scarlett actually took down Cure in an ESL Open Cup Asia. So, you know, she can pop off from time to time, and I do believe that she can do so here as well, especially in a best of 2. You know, so much is possible. There's so much available here for our players, and hopefully our players are here as well.
True.
We had a no-show earlier, and hopefully that's not going to be the case. So here we go. The players have arrived, and look at that. The perfect score, a 69.
Yeah, we don't want Scarlett to be no-showing, getting replaced by TLO, and then Oliveira muling TLO.
Oh, no. Oh, my God. Look, we can put the last series behind us, as it looks like Oliveira has been updated. Let's go.
He didn't have those 2 10s before, did he?
He didn't.
Cool. Yeah, I don't know if I actually agree with 10 in micro, but it's cool to see him get the nod.
Yeah, we've been talking about how the WTL organizers have been really harsh on Oliveira, and it makes sense. You know, I think they have a close ties with Oliveira, and they expect a lot from him. Sometimes they can maybe expect from him, and they can just like dox him in the points as a result. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe the last time we saw Oliveira, he was a B tier player. I think they rated him as B. So.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Thankfully, you know, they're
I haven't touched Scarlett's score. That's gonna stay.
And that's the problem there. Scarlett a C, mate. I'm shaking my head. Oh god, but again, you know, it is really cool that this season specifically they have been updating those scores, and they are kind of, you know, as a result, getting closer to what should be a little bit more accurate, at least in our opinion. And depending on Scarlett's performance here, you know, they may rank her up as well.
Yeah, true. If she takes out Oliveira, I reckon they put Oliveira back down to a B. They push Scarlett up to a B. Maybe put them on the same score.
Oh my god. Maybe. These WTL admins, mate, they're crazy.
Give them both 75. Dang, that's the way.
There you go. As we are getting into this, again, I still feel like, I don't know, I feel like the points and mentality here are maybe uncalled for Oliveira. Like, I feel like he's got a strong mental, right? Like, to win the world championship, like, even if you have like low self-confidence, like that's not about your mental though, you know.
That is true. Yeah, he did reverse sweep Raynor, which is pretty insane. I think I have known him to tilt a while back, but not in the Oliveira era.
Yeah, that was, you know, back when time was around, and now we are in the land after time. And I do think that Oliveira, you know, he deserves a couple more points in that mental at least. Maybe take some away from Micro.
Yeah, he does. They remind him, what about this time that you got tilted? And he goes, that wasn't me. That was Trisha.
Yeah. There you go. It wasn't me. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ancient System, we have the Canadian Zerg player for Shopify Rebellion, Scarlett.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the map for DKZ, this is Oliveira.
Yo, every time I look over.
Oh, the hat!
Oh my god!
Go, mate.
Did he take Cyril's hat?
Is that what Cyril's hat?
Yeah.
It's a world. He's like, I've seen the world champions, you know, when they make a bit of money, when you win that world championship, you know, StarCraft's not quite what it used to be, but you splash out, you buy yourself a hat.
Hold on. Okay, so
I know those Dota players, those League of Legends players, they're getting supercars. They're, you know, buying their parents a house, and Oliveira, he gets a new hat.
True. That's what matters the most, mate. And I'm curious because Oliveira and Cyril, they are good friends. You know, they play that 2v2 tournament together as well. You know, we've seen them interact quite often. They practice together. Now, do you think he bought the hat, or do you think he took it from Cyril?
Oh, maybe Cyril sent it to him.
Maybe he sent it to him
as like a present.
Yeah.
Like for performing well in 2v2.
It's one or the other, mate. He got it himself, or it's Cyril's hat, actually.
I think Cyril's hat wasn't as bright.
It's true. It could be the lighting. Like, it could be like, do you remember? I don't know if you were here for it, but for Home Story Cup for a good while there, it was the Capital hat that they were like kind of trading between the champions. You know, like Zest had it for a while, and then it would go over to some other players. I know Harstem had it for a while. Yeah, maybe it's something like that. Maybe the world champion, they gotta trade the hat.
Well, let's see what it does for him. But before we get into that, we do have a raid coming in from Ranger. So thank you very much for the raid, Ranger. Hope you had a good ladder session.
Hope you had a great stream, Poppy. Hope you had a great stream. Shout out to Ranger. He was actually awake early this morning streaming as well, and he even played in the Tenacious Turtle Tussle. So
nice.
Thank you, Ranger. Thank you. Yeah.
You'll have to say, how did that go? How did the tournament go?
We had an Eric versus Trigger rematch in the finals. It was good stuff.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. Always fun watching. He meme builds were had.
Yeah, that makes sense.
From both players, to be fair. Like Trigger, he was having some fun as well.
Yeah. Trigger can play the game too.
he can play StarCraft.
Yeah. He plays NA StarCraft too.
Yeah, for sure. I was gonna say, every time I look over Papi, it's like Rufus is in a new position. You know?
He just can't get comfy.
We can relate, right? When you're in bed and when it's like maybe a little bit too hot, maybe a little bit too cold, you have to just angle your body. Like, part of you has to be off the bed, part on the bed, under the sheets. Oh.
Yeah, as Oliveira does stay back, gets the snipe on that tumor, but in response, Scarlett is going to be sending the Lings across the map.
Yeah, and they get into the main base as well. Marine is going to be
Oh.
going down. Not too much more damage than that, but we do get a full scout of the main base.
Yeah, not the best damage, so good move to send that across as the Reaper was overstaying a little bit. But yeah, with that, we do have Oliveira taking a small lead here, it feels like.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll see what he can do with that lead as he is going for that 1-1-1. We do have Cloak Banshees on the way behind this. And he's just being as annoying as possible, even just doing a little bit of extra DPS to that hatchery.
Yeah, so he's just going for this super standard build here. It's what we saw him doing so well with in the World Championship.
Yeah, exactly. Interesting that he, on Ancient Cistern, doesn't go for a 3cc opener. So a little bit less economic, a little bit less macro-oriented, a little bit more aggressive coming out from him.
Skill checking.
Oh.
Actually, I do remember watching some Scarlett vs. Time games from... It was the Blackburn map pool. And I remember they played 2 series, and both series Oliveira did the same build on Blackburn, which was like a Viking Liberator 3cc build, and killed Scarlett at like the exact same time. I remember seeing the 2 replays and thinking that they were the same game, because the games ended at like the same time, but they were 2 separate games.
Wow, yeah. I mean, he can be very crisp with his execution of his builds. As we can see him being very active with his Hellions. Almost gets a queen, but does pull back at the last moment. Scarlett does keep her queens alive. Meanwhile, the Banshees have arrived as well, looking to try and take advantage of the distracted queens by those Hellions.
Yeah, that's right. And behind this as well, Scarlett hasn't managed to throw down that 4th base just yet. So I wonder what she has planned here.
Yeah, I am curious as we do have quite a delay on that 4th base. We do have the double Eva chambers being thrown down as well. So it looks like eventually she'll be working on it. The drone is in position. There we go. The 4th is finally thrown down, just a little bit delayed.
Okay, and yeah, Oliveira is continuing to be very active with the Hellions. He's such a fast player, such a crisp player as well. This was really kind of the story that came out of Oliveira's World Championship run, was just insane amounts of practice and just kind of chasing perfection, which is, I think, what made his whole story just so appealing and so enjoyable to follow, is just, just the whole ordinary man thing, where it's just, he's just doing the normal stuff, but he just played 15 hours a day and got really crisp with everything.
It's wholesome, Bobby. It's wholesome. Nothing too crazy, nothing too special. There was no secret ingredient to the sauce. It was just...
Or harder.
Constant.
Hard work.
Hard work paying off, mate. 100 push-ups a day, 100 sit-ups a day. Eventually he did achieve that perfection. But we'll see how he's able to pull it off here, as for the time being, he's going to be looking to be a little bit more active with his Hellions. Scarlett just trying to assert herself. Once again, known for her creep spread, is reaching that halfway point across the map.
Hey, that's One Punch Man.
Yeah, it's ordinary guy.
Oh, is that a One Punch Man thing?
Have you not watched it?
No. I don't watch anime. I've told you this.
Do you watch Food Wars? That's more
that
anime than anime.
counts.
What do you mean?
That's a spectacle.
You're like, that's for some special time. Don't worry about it. Okay. Oh my god. But we do see Oliveira just situating himself outside the 4th base here with those tanks. Ooh, I'll pick up as well. Just barely does pick up those creep tumors.
Yeah, this is an insane timing, by the way. His medevacs came out so early. I'm not really sure how. They came out earlier than I thought you were meant to be able to with this build. But he's putting on a lot of pressure here. Going to be taking some fantastic trades with the Lings and the Hellions. The tank is going to be going down, and actually some pretty decent connections here from Scarlett. So I feel like not ideal necessarily for Oliveira, as we do see Scarlett's supply shoot up.
Yeah, he lost his tank. He wasn't able to trade too well. He was able to pick up some of those Lings for sure, but this round was just a little bit too in favor of Scarlett. A great setup from her, able to shut down that push. And with that, Scarlett is going to have some breathing room, is able to get her 5th base on the way, respread all that creep, but only for a couple of seconds, because Oliveira is looking to bounce back.
Yeah, Oliveira back on the front foot, looking to put on some damage here. Does have those Hellbats at the front as well, but wow, Scarlett, she is just macroing up a storm here. There are so many Hydras, and Oliveira just getting stomped back, and he's really going to regret not having those tanks now.
Oh, exactly. Meanwhile, it looks like, the tank barely does go down towards the end. We did trade relatively well against Ling Bane, but the Hydras were able to clean everything else up. At the same time, we do have a couple of Banshees on the left-hand side trying to punish that 5th base, but I feel like we're going to have plenty of time to react as well. Oliveira just running out of steam.
Yeah, he really is. I mean, that first push was great, but I feel like that is one of the risks when you do take that push without the first tank. I was expecting the second tank to be followed shortly behind with the second medevac. Usually you do just leave that medevac behind to pick up the second tank and bring it, just because, yeah, you can see that he didn't quite have the staying power that he needed.
Yeah, exactly. And now suddenly Scarlett just has so much more momentum, so much more control. Oliver has still been doing a great job at clearing up the creep though. Like earlier, we were kind of nearing the halfway point across the map, and now that's all gone at this point. So Oliveira still has map control, still has always vying for that as he has a double drop on the right hand side and another double drop towards the left.
Yeah, Oliveira going to be looking to do his best Mario impression and just pull Scarlett apart with the multitask here. Oh, the friendly fire from the mine. I'm not even sure exactly what happened there, but we do have the second wave coming in on the right-hand side. Scarlett very well prepared for this.
Yeah, she was in position with her Lings, with her Banelings. Oh my god, a massive mine shot goes off onto the Lings of Scarlett. So not a bad trade overall here from Oliveira, but he's forced back. And once again, Scarlett has the room to respread that creep and to reestablish her bases.
Yeah, Scarlett, a very fast, a very mechanical player herself as well. So Oliveira has his work cut out for him, and we can see that despite his best attempts to out-multitask her, she is more than keeping up.
Exactly. Now she's getting close to maxing out as well. 2-2 on the horizon. First for Oliveira, then for Scarlett. We do see a couple of mines going to be picked up before their shots can go off at the same time. Oliveira pushing up towards the north. Widow mines did go off.
Yeah, Widow mine's going off. We do see Scarlett as well on a massive drone count. This is kind of a bit of a signature of hers.
Yeah, 95 workers here to sustain a massive amount of Ling Bane Hydra to keep on trading, to keep on engaging. Mines are not going to go off.
Yeah, of course not. They got nerfed because Terran can't have good things.
True. They don't deserve
it. Beautiful Ling drag from Scarlett there. Going to be causing a huge amount of friendly fire. The Banelings getting in on the SCVs of Oliveira. Scarlett just dominating Ancient Cistern.
There we go. Does completely shut down the army. Goes for the counterattack as well. 15 SCVs do go down. And now Oliveira is on the back foot. Scarlett almost instantly looking to remax.
Yeah, we do have Oliveira probably going to be looking to split up this army, and there we go. But it's just a little bit too much here for Scarlett, I feel. Oliveira hasn't been able to get the best mine shots, has been losing a lot of these mines along the way as well. And we can see that once these really high numbers of Banelings come in, that becomes a massive problem as, oh my goodness, so many Marines go down to those Banelings.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit of a lapse of judgment there. The base is going to be going down as well. GG gets called, and Scarlett will be taking game number 1.
GG. Powerful game coming out from Scarlett there. I don't think Oliveira will be too discouraged just because it was Ancient Cistern. That can be a very tough map to make standard play work on, but he's going to have to do better in this next game and maybe take the hat off.
Yeah, so this is getting really close here because even if Oliveira takes game number 1, it's going to come down to set 3, and that is a lot more up in the air. That's maybe arguably in favor of Shopify Rebellion as well. So DKZ Gaming are in a really rough spot here. As you were saying, I do think that Ancient Cistern does kind of work against Oliveira, and now that it's going to be his map choice to have a little bit more freedom, and he's going to be going for Babylon.
All right, so Babylon, this is where that reverse sweep kind of all came to its culmination against Reina, and he played an absolutely stunning game. Almost perfect 360 Banshee execution on Babylon. So this does feel like it's a bit of a comfort map for him, and I think we might be seeing that kind of 8-rack setup once again.
Yeah, very possible here on a much smaller map like Babylon, and yeah, I do think that Oliveira has a good chance here at bringing it back, but a really strong showing from Scarlett in game number 1, able to just keep up with everything that Oliveira had to throw at her. Really good results and doing what she needed to for her team, for Shopify Rebellion. Again, making the series so much more closer than I thought it would be.
Yeah, that's right. And here she is spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of the map for Shopify Rebellion. It is Scarlett.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Babylon for DKZ Gaming, it is Oliveira. Also, I didn't get to mention it earlier, but a shout out to the phone cam from Scarlett, the 4x3, the black
Oh
bars.
yeah,
You love to see it.
it's not bad as far as phone cams go.
Yeah. Pretty good quality. Also, shout out as well. I don't know if shout out to the people that can recognize it in the chat. Scarlett is rocking the Carbot Korean exclusive Zergling and Reaver just behind her as well.
Nerd.
It was for Brood War Remastered when that came out, and the Reaver is actually a hat. It actually can go on your head, and it's on the head of the Zergling.
Oh, nice. I believe Scarlett plays Protoss in Brood War, right?
Yeah, she does.
Mm-hmm.
So it does make
sense.
sense.
Not making the same mistakes twice.
True. But I'm very jealous because those two, the Carbot Reaver and that specific Carbot Zergling plushie, they're exclusive only to Korea. If you want to get outside of Korea, they're quite expensive on eBay. Quite expensive.
Ooh. There you go.
Smooth.
Bit of a collector item though.
There you go. As we are getting into this, and we'll see what kind of opener Oliveira decides to go for here in game number 2. Game 1, we saw him go for the 1-1-1. As you were saying, I wouldn't be too shocked if he does go for a more 3cc opener instead.
So Oliveira turned his camera off.
You did, yeah. Wow, smooch, Poppy, smooch.
Like they were making fun of my hat. I could feel it.
No, we liked the hat, Poppy. We liked it. It was good.
Now, I do hope that he goes for 3cc here. Maybe he just didn't really respect Scarlett enough in that first game, going for 2cc Banshee. Didn't really get the damage that he was looking for. So I'm certainly hoping to see a 3cc build this time.
I'm hoping so as well. So for the time being, the Reaper is going to be dancing here with the units of Scarlett. We saw in game 1, Oliveira was able to get a drone kill, but here in game 2 is having a bit of a harder time. Scarlett able to keep her workers alive as there it is. There's that 3rd CC.
All right, we are already on the winning path.
Oh. Yes, exactly. We have the pieces to the puzzle. It's all coming together here. As with this, of course, Oliveira is going to have a much better economic position. We're talking about it in game number 1, but the pressure was on Oliveira to do damage with his Hellions and his Banshees. Without it, to find himself in a really awkward position.
I thought from the Rax positioning that he might have been going for a Blue Flame build or something like that, but no, it's just going to be it's been getting that out of the way for whatever reason.
Yeah, for sure. Just making sure that his main base, the SimCity, is as tidy as possible. Behind the Scarlett is actually making a decent wave of Lings as well. She slips into that mineral line, is going to be able to force quite a bit of lost mine time here, not just on those SCVs, but also on the mules.
Yeah. Once again, same as last game, he's going to be taking out that Marine, gets a full scout of the main as well.
Oh, and we have a massive surge of Lings there towards the southern portion of the map as well. Scarlett, she wants to try to slip into that natural and do some more damage here. If the Hellions move out, she's gonna Oliveira's gonna be quite vulnerable.
Yeah, incredible timing. Scarlett really showing off her game knowledge here. That was brilliant. Moving out just as those Hellions, or moving in just as those Hellions moved out.
Yeah, exactly. So far, not too much economic damage. There we go. A couple of SCVs are finally going to be going down. The Hellions are forced to turn back around to defend. And, oh, this is already worth it here. 6 SCVs go down alongside a Hellion.
Yeah, 6 SCVs going down. Fantastic play from Scarlett.
Oh, beautifully done. And now, as a result, despite the fact that Oliveira is going for a more economic opener, is kind of struggling to really get into this here. Down to 28 workers. Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty awkward. I mean, he is going for a 3cc build, so he should still be relatively okay. He is going to be just cutting at those 6 Hellions as well, so not going too crazy with that. Not going to be looking for any wild Hellion dives or anything like that.
Doesn't want to risk it here, as he's now going to be moving out once a couple of those Hellions have been topped up as well. I do see the Banshees appearing, but one of those Hellions was quite low from earlier and does go down.
Yeah, Scarlett again with the Lings out across the map is going to be getting some damage. Fortunately, we do have this Banshee back here, but yeah, you can see both of these players, they are so quick.
They really are. The target firing from Scarlett on those 2 weakened SCVs as well. 2 more SCVs do go down. Oliveira is still struggling to recover his economy. Behind this, unfortunately, the Banshees just haven't been able to do too much either. They've been stuck at home.
Yeah, so the Banshees will be linking up, moving on out as that cloak does finish up, and Oliveira is going to be looking to clear up some creep here, but all in all, this has been a great opening here for Scarlett.
Oh, and it's not going to stop because Scarlett has thrown down a Roach Warren as well. Potentially looking to be aggressive. We'll see what the use is going to be for that Warren. There are some Zerg players that just want to be more defensive with it, just be more secure, as already more of these Hellions are going down.
Yeah, decent enough trades with those Lings, but looks like the Banshee's not going to be getting too much damage in the main there. These Roaches as well, we have been, as you're kind of referring to, we have been seeing Cyril play more defensive Roach styles just to guarantee himself getting to the late game, and I could 100% see Scarlett doing that as well. She has fantastic late game.
Yeah, she really does. And I think she already knows that she's ahead after doing so much economic damage early on, that there isn't too much pressure on her to be like hyper efficient either. So she can get away with investing into these roaches. And there we go. 1-1 is on the way. Roach speed as well, as the observer is pointing out, currently unscouted by Oliveira.
Yeah, okay. So it looks like she is going to be going for this 1-1 Roach all in, or is at least set up to do so.
Yeah, and we'll see if she does end up cutting workers shortly. For the time being, we're just going to be draining up to 72, just saturating our 4 bases and working on that Roach count as well. Meanwhile, Oliveira still none the wiser, still just focusing on establishing that third.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, he's kept the Banshees alive, which is very important in this situation, but he is playing a mine-based style, and maybe that's something that Scarlett recognized, and that's why she's going for this.
Yeah, exactly, because tanks would be so much better defensively back at home. Instead, we have mines from Oliveira. He's going to be pushing through the center of the map, clearing up a lot of this creep, to be fair, but Scarlett hasn't droned in a while. She's been making nothing but roaches for the past minute or so, and that roach count is getting quite damn high.
Yeah, and there we go. The roaches have been revealed, so we should straight away see Oliveira switching that factory off onto a tech lab, and there we go. He is getting tank production going now.
Yeah, tank production on the way, Marauders as well to try and get as best of an army as we can. Scarlett is droning up a little bit, literally 1 drone in production. She's macroing, it's fine. But yeah, behind that, still a massive wave of roaches, and Scarlett is close to maxing out.
Ooh, okay, decent connection from the mines, but nothing permanent. And we do have, back for Oliveira. There's just really not that much there. This build makes a lot of sense coming out from Scarlett now as well, considering how much damage she got with those links in the early game. I think she realizes that she's ahead enough to go for an all-in.
Yeah, exactly. And the Oliveira, it is unlikely for him to have enough to defend. The Banshees are going to be rocking up, and a nice target fire. They are going to be able to focus down these Ravagers, at least one of them.
Yeah, 1 Ravager goes down, but very quick decision making to pull back from Scarlett.
Yeah, it does pull back to the safety of those queens. The creep is being spread. The detection has arrived. These rocks are not long for this world. We have 1 tank here on the front lines. We're trying to set up some SimCity as well. We've got some depots on the way. This is going to be a close hold here from Oliveira.
Yeah, this is looking pretty rough as Scarlett is angling around, trying to see if she can find the right way to come in here. Doesn't have the bios for the tank, so the tank's going to be doing some good work, but there is just not enough here. She is just mincing through these Marines, destroying everything. We have SCBs being pulled just a bit too late here, and I think Scarlett has done the damage that she's looking for.
Yeah, 1 tank is not going to be enough. The army crumbles. The boys are falling as well, left and right. We do have another tank showing up here. Add to the natural, but the bios even connect with the Liberators, and Oliveira is on his last legs, and with this, Shopify Rebellion are looking to take a lead in this series, a very strong lead at that, as the 3rd base is forfeit.
Yeah, I was not expecting a Scarlett 2-0 here, but she has looked very strong in these past 2 games.
She really has, reading Oliveira like a book. Oliveira going to try and go for a double drop here towards the southern side instead, just to try to somehow come back in this game. But these 2 drops, they got a lot of work to do.
Oliveira, don't cope. They're going to mule you. They're going to mule your teammate.
No, Papi, no. ByuN. He's going to get muled. He's going to get Manor Hatchery. Oh.
Oh no. As yeah, we do have a little bit of damage coming out from Oliveira, but I can't even begin to work out what kind of damage he would need to make to get back into this game.
What's the equivalent of mana muling by a Protoss player? Would it just be like a Nexus in your face?
Honestly.
Aye.
I've seen people dance the Zealots back and forth. It looks kind of funny with Protoss units. The Stalkers as well, just left and right, left and right.
Yeah.
Oh, as the base gets piled down and yeah, I mean, there's no nice way to put it. Oliveira's coping right now.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you know what? It's the strength of Terran, let me tell you, as we do see the Roach Army rocking up once again. Tanks will be falling, Liberators as well. GG, as Scarlett will take 2-0.
GG. Very impressive performance coming out from Scarlett. Got to be happy with that one.
Very happy indeed, and this puts CranKy Gaming in a really awkward position because now it all comes down to set number 3. Hero needs to win this 2-0 to force the ace match.
Yeah, things are getting real spicy here, especially when we think about the ramifications of this on the table, because Shopify, they haven't been doing brilliantly. They're a very middle of the table team in this current season, despite doing so well last season. I think they finished second on the table last season. But DKZ, they're one of the favorites alongside Onside to come out first here. And this would be a decent upset for Shopify to take this down.
100%. To put things into context, Shopify Rebellion, they are currently 7th place in WTL, 7 out of 12 teams. So they've been really struggling this season of World Team League. So bringing down DKZ is going to be a really solid result and a really necessary result if they want to make it into the playoffs. And it's within grasp. It's within reach because we're getting into ByuN versus Hero. ByuN has been on fire recently. Hero has been, slipping up a little bit as well. So this could be a 2-0 in favor of ByuN.
Yeah, I could absolutely see that. It's going to be very tough for Hero to take down a 2-0 win, but we are going to be starting things out on altitude, which can only help.
Exactly. And quickly having a look at the viewer predictions here from the chat, and oh boy, this is looking a little bit scary for Hero. Spawning in the top right hand corner of altitude, we have for Shopify Rebellion, ByuN.
And in the bottom left-hand corner of the map for DKZ, this is Hero.
So when it came to the predictions, I think it was split mainly either 2-0 in favor of ByuN or 1-1. I think very few people believed in the 2-0 from Hero. And the problem is that a 1-1 is not good enough. A 1-1 would still be in favor of Shopify.
Yeah, I did predict a 2-0 for ByuN myself, so I'm not really believing as ByuN is going to be opening up here with a proxy Rax.
Let's go, Bobby. The first Rax is proxied here out at that Zelnaga tower. And Hero, still none the wiser, just going to be going into his own opener. Of course, ByuN would proxy as well. It's ByuN. Why not, Bobby? Why not?
Yeah, this has been very, well, it's kind of always popular. I feel like it's been popular for the last few years now. And especially on a big map like this, it's going to be pretty hard to find. Hero is doing his due diligence, going to be scouting around with a probe for the nearby spots, but looks like he's not going to find this.
Yeah, exactly. He is scouting the kind of third base locations here around his bases, as he should, to be fair. But alas, is not coming across that proxy. It is only a singular proxy Rax, so not the most committed play here from ByuN. He's actually making a Marine.
Oh, okay.
It's more than just one proxy Rax, mate. That's what. Oh my god.
Okay, I haven't seen this before. I actually have no idea what this is for. And oh my god, Hero is going for a Nexus as a gold base.
He's going for a ninja base. He's taking the gold. He's crazy.
Oh, he's screwed.
I think he's going to die, Buffy. I mean, oh boy. Okay, so we actually saw ByuN go for a proxy 1-1-1 against Clem recently, but again, different matchup, different kind of setup as well. And
I think it's a Hellion drop.
Yeah, it's looking like
be a Cloak Mine drop as well.
We have options. Regardless, we're going to be seeing an add-on swap here between the factory and that Rax as well to get into either Hellion or Widowmine production. There is that Starport as well. And because Hero is going for the ninja base like this, he's going to have so little to work with and to defend back at home.
This is so wild to go for this against Hero, because Hero is aggressive with his early units so often, and this dies to like any early unit going across the map, whether it be an Oracle, your first Adept, your first Stalker. Okay.
Here we go. He's going to recall his units over to take advantage of said gold base. ByuN is going for a mine drop. Oh boy, we'll see if he throws out an armory behind this as well. So this is going to get really interesting. When the mines do appear, there aren't going to be that many workers to kill, thankfully. But there's also no way for Hero to ever clean them up.
So funny. I wonder if long distance mining the gold's even that much better than a natural.
I imagine so. I imagine Heroes, if he's doing this, it's for a reason. I'm sure he's cracked the code a little bit. As the Hellions are looking to dive on 4, they do run past the units of Hero. They get into the mineral line, and should recognize that quite a bit is missing.
Yeah, incredible micro from Hero. Oof. Only 4 probes go down.
That could have been so much worse, as Hero is going for his own hallucinated scout, and he's going to confirm the lack of anything in the main base of his opponent.
Yeah, and we do have a cloak mine follow-up coming out from ByuN, but Hero, funnily enough, only has 1 scattered base to defend.
Yeah, only 1 base to defend. He doesn't have to worry about that ninja base for the time being. We do see that medevac is being focused on, but the mines, they are going to be able to borrow. At least one of them will. Up!
Yeah, that will be borrowed. I mean, we do have the robot on the way, but Observer won't be out in time to deal with this. And Hero is going to have to rely on that gold-based income. Yeah. I wonder if ByuN's going to be able to put this together.
That's the thing, right? Like, ByuN is only going to be denying mining in one of these bases, not in the other, not in the most crucial one, as a couple more workers are going to be going down. As these probes do return, that center Widowmine is going to reset.
Yeah, beautiful split there. Hero knows that timing well as well. For that mine, has that in his head, but ByuN, yeah, he is piecing this together. Looks like he's going to go check for this base with the medevac, and Hero going for an attack of his own.
Yeah, and ByuN, he doesn't have much to defend back at home. I think he has a tank, but that's going to be proxied if I'm not mistaken, so ByuN is going to be in trouble. Oh.
Yeah, this is an insane game right now. There's just all sorts going on all over the place, but yeah, as you were saying, ByuN just actually doesn't have anything to do with this.
Nothing. There's nothing back at home, mate, so Hero is going to be denied mining, but at the same time, ByuN is going to be denied his base. This is such a wild turn of events, and yeah, how's this going to turn out?
Yeah, I guess ByuN's base trading?
Yeah, I think we base trade, right? Yeah, ByuN, he's going to be lifting up his CCs, just getting the hell out of his own main base. He does have eyes on that natural, and he's going to be laying siege upon the gold. The gold is going to go down.
Oh, but his CC goes down.
Ooh, CC will fall. ByuN still has buildings out on the map, if you recall. He still has that proxy location, but his buildings are about to be revealed.
Alright, we do have the quick pickup there, going to be saving his units from the Blink Stalkers. There is just so much potential with Blink, though.
There really is, and ByuN, he doesn't have, or he has 1 SCV, but he doesn't have the money to throw down another CC, so what you see is what you get. We're going to be recalling back home here to try to defend. I believe we have detection available for Hero. He does end up losing that base, but he still holds on to his main.
Yeah, he will finally be able to clean up these mines.
Yeah, and now it's going to be on ByuN to try to break the one basing Hero who has an economy, who has mining going on, who has Blink Stalkers as well. That is a pretty terrifying army, though. That's a lot of tanks.
Yeah, really solid army. It's going to come down to the micro of Hero. He doesn't have much map to work with, though.
He really doesn't. He can kite, but only for so long, as ByuN is pushing him all the way back towards that natural base, towards that ramp. ByuN, though, also has to be very careful with his own movement.
Yeah, nice pick up there on the tank. Going to be dodging out some of those Stalker shots, and now he can slowly siege his way on up. He does have 4 tanks, so that's a lot of firepower, but time is on Hero's side. Yeah,
it really is, and that force field is going to be buying some of that time. He's going to be forcing ByuN back for the time being. Ooh. You have a blink as well to get on top of the tank.
Wow, very aggressive play coming out from Hero, but he does take down the tank, and for every tank that he takes down, that's kind of like a notch on the health of the boss battle of ByuN.
Yeah, exactly. Like, ByuN, he has no more longevity in this game. These are the only units that he can win the game with. As you do blink on forward, the tank goes down.
Yeah, tank goes down, no whole pickup, but we see a lot of Stalkers going down as well. Marine starting to get picked off. Second tank going down too, and I think Hero has done it here. He can just pull the probes here, take out those last few medevacs, and yeah, this is looking fantastic for him.
Yeah, it really is. We have 1 mine remaining. Does take down the Prism, but the Prism doesn't matter. What matters are the Blink Stalkers. They blink on forward once again, and the final tank will fall.
Yeah, the Marines are starting to be focused down by the Stalkers, but the medevac's doing a really good job healing. There's just not enough Marines though. G is caught, and Hero takes out game 1.
GG, well played. That was so damn close.
Yeah, that was a sick game.
It went down to a handful of units. It went down to Hero's aggressiveness and assertiveness as well, because if he wasn't that decisive with his blinks to take down those tanks, then I'm sure ByuN would have been able to leapfrog forward and lay siege upon the main base of Hero. So, GG.
Yeah, what an insane game coming out from them. And yeah, just a really weird game as well. I feel like that went well for ByuN, so it's kind of weird that it went so poorly as well. I suppose Hero wouldn't have had that forward spring point to build the attack from, but I don't know. Crazy build. In the top left-hand corner of the map for the Shopify Rebellion, this is ByuN.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Dragon Scales for DragonKy Gaming, it is Hero. All right, he's already got 1 point on the board. He needs one more, uno más, to force the ace match.
All right, so what are we going to see? Previous Hero games that I've seen on this map, I know against Oliveira, he played Oracle into Blink, and that has been a very popular build lately here.
Yeah, we'll see if he does whip that out here against ByuN. I'm sure ByuN is quite familiar with Hero as well. I'm sure they played plenty of times leading up to this. But I can't imagine we're going to be seeing another ninja base like we saw in game 1. I feel like that's a very altitude or even royal blood specific build with those gold bases.
Yeah, I do feel like Hero vs ByuN as well, probably similar to Mario vs ByuN in that they just know each other so well, so they have to play really weird metagamey stuff when they're against each other. Yeah,
fun fact, no, this is not the first time that I've seen Hero take a gold ninja base. This month even. He did it against Max Fax. I told you about it. It was an animal on Royal Blood. It's crazy.
Yeah, Hero has always been a very interesting, very creative player. I remember seeing him on Blackburn against Mario for GSL, taking both gold bases, including Mario's close gold base, and then containing him on 2 bases and just printing zealots.
Yeah, Hero, his mind is like no other. He has no fear. He is so open and receptive to so many different builds. We've seen him cannon rush as well a couple of weeks ago. He was cannon rushing Classic in a PvP. And on top of that, Hero, of course, can play some solid macro games. And that's what's terrifying about Hero is that, you know, you can get some solid late game scenarios or even mid game scenarios or even just some straight up cheese. Very unpredictable.
Yeah, very unpredictable indeed. So we do see him opening up now with the Stargate. He's getting a battery in his main as well, which signifies to me that he wants to send his adept straight across the map too.
Yeah, with that shield battery, he's going to be safe and sound against any kind of Reaper harass going into that main base. So Hero is free to be aggressive if he wishes to.
Yeah, okay. He is definitely respecting the aggressive potential of ByuN.
Yeah, even another shield battery here at the natural, and the adept actually decides to stay at home as well. So Hero just a little bit paranoid. I mean, it makes sense. ByuN did proxy in game 1, quite a committed proxy at that. So yeah, I wouldn't put it past ByuN to proxy racks again on a map like this.
Yeah, but ByuN is actually just going for a very standard build. Looks like he is expecting Hero to be going for something like this, because instead of going for a mine drop, it looks like he's just going straight into Cyclone. So yeah, he is metagaming Stargate opener.
Yeah, there we go. We've got the Cyclones, we've got Marines on the way, and the medevac as well to go for a drop. As you were saying, going to work out quite well against Phoenixes. Phoenixes, which Hero is going to be building. He's sending the first one across the map, though, to try and get an eye on what ByuN is up to.
Yeah, okay, going to just be opening up with a nice little scout there. Doesn't want to stack them up and hide them. Does catch the move out here of that medevac, so he's going to be able to stop that from happening.
Yeah, exactly. It does force the unload, does slow down the drop in general, and at least Hero is aware now of what ByuN is up to. Does force it back.
I was going to say ByuN won't drop anymore, but then I remembered it's ByuN, so
yeah.
He's always going to drop.
Yeah, 100%. Mate, he's going to make the Raven later as well. You watch.
Don't hurt me like this, ByuN.
Oh god, as here we go. He's moving out across the map with said Cyclone. Going to be looking to try and drop into the main base. The Phoenixes are more concerned with protecting the mineral lines, less so on scouting for any kind of drop play, as we are even working towards that Immortal.
Every time he makes the Raven, it's just like, ByuN, I know I suck, but you don't have to rub it in.
To be fair, sometimes he does lose it. Like it's 50-50 with ByuN, or maybe like 60-40.
Uh-huh.
It's yeah. Aye.
But either way, he is looking to put on pressure with this double cyclone opener. Very nice pick off for Hero. It just works out the perfect time to catch that factory unit, so it takes a lot of sting out of the push.
Oh, yeah, the Cyclone does go down alongside a Marine, so great pickoffs here from Hero, just catching the reinforcements. Once again, more Marines are going to be going down, and ByuN is forced to turn back around. He will still be committing with this drop, but the rest of his reinforcements do go back
You're
down.
right. There's the Raven.
Of course,
Amazing.
Yeah, it's ByuN. He does.
Still making the Raven after a Viking and a medevac is wild.
Yeah, it's crazy. Meanwhile, we do have a Marine drop in towards the main base. We do force a recall as well. A couple of heroes are going to be going down. Not too bad counter damage done here by ByuN. But yeah, I was going to say that, look, there's few things in the world, and you know, there may be like an unwritten Terran rule about not making a Raven when you're up against Phoenixes, but ByuN, you know, that rule was written in English. He doesn't read English.
Kira's decided that the rule is you make a Raven against Phoenix, and we now all follow the Bible of Cure in TVP.
Are you gonna start doing it now?
Yeah, I do it now. It's good. It's actually sick.
It's good if the Raven lives, right? Like it's, yeah.
But Phoenix die even if it doesn't live.
Yeah, there you go.
And then you get to drop like an AO, which is even more fun.
There you go, mate. There you go. As we do see Hero moving out across the map. For the time being, the Raven is, of course, alive, but Hero is looking for it. He's striking for it.
Yeah, he's looking around for it. Meanwhile, ByuN just going to be macroing on up. So a lot of his aggression already been shut down. He has to be a bit more careful now. It's actually going to be Hero putting on some aggression now. With 2 Immortals and a Colossus, has a lot of potential with this attack. And ByuN just lost a little bit too much with his aggression. So he is going to be forced to cancel this CC.
Yeah, CC does get cancelled. Meanwhile, one Phoenix did go down at the same time. A bit of a Hellion run by, but no, there's plenty at home to defend. The Colossi is going to be able to clean that up as Hero can now reinforce, but I'm sure he's content with just cancelling that third CC.
Yeah, that cancel is actually huge there. So Hero's in a really nice spot now.
Yeah, there was just so much progression already on that command center, and it was forced to be rebuilt. Meanwhile, Hero just going to be looking to skirt between the bases. Does get eyes on the new building third CC as well. Is aware that his opponent is going for a 2-base all-in or anything like that.
Yeah, as we do have ByuN just macroing on up, is going to be getting those early Vikings, but oh man, Hero going for double upgrades as well, going into charge. This is just a rotten spot, and yeah, I love this. Throws down the 4th Nexus, realizes that there's just not that much aggressive potential for ByuN. Nothing that he wouldn't have the same resources to hold anyway, so yeah, this is a great decision from Hero.
I mean, I would say there's not that much potential for ByuN except for the Ravens, you know, like there's always potential with that, as ByuN is just going to be situating himself at his 3rd base location, just going to be forcing Hero back for the time being. Meanwhile, Hero is even working on Prism speed. My god.
Yeah, okay. I mean, we've got Ghost on the way, but Hero just kind of using the map control that he got from such an effective attack to just skip all these steps. And this is a very strong thing that you can do with Protoss, of course. Once you are ahead, I mean, you can cut gateway production, get your gateways faster, get your tech faster, get those double upgrades, get the 4th Nexus faster. Hero just making all the right decisions with the greed, and now going to be looking for a little bit of a push.
Yeah, exactly, because he has gotten away with it. Now he can go for that gateway explosion now that he's got his 4th base up and running. He's already got his 3 Colossi as well. His main army is still not looking as impressive as it otherwise could, but soon it will once everything does kick in. Thankfully, ByuN is already making ghosts. He's already got a couple of ghosts in production, and his defensive position here at his 3rd base is not looking too bad.
Yeah, ByuN has established the tent. But Hero going to be looking to breaking on through. Does have a lot of Zealots warping in the main, and ByuN is not in position for this.
Yeah, don't you hate it when you pitch the tent, but there's a Protoss already inside, as we do see Hero trying to break through that 3rd base, forces a recall, and one Colossus is going to go down.
Yeah, one Colossus goes down. Didn't get both Colossus, which is a little bit unfortunate there, but he's going to be punishing Hero for this move. Was very well prepared for it as well. ByuN, you know, playing a little bit of an uncharacteristic game. We're used to seeing him being the hammer, but we can see it's not a bad nail either. He is defending very well.
Yeah, exactly. You know, he can take a beating, and he is able to deflect Hero quite well for himself. But Hero, he backs off. He's got his fourth base up and running. We should be getting into more even disruptive production from here, as Hero's not done with that harassment either. He does drop in towards the natural, but ByuN is ready for it.
Yeah, ByuN ready for this is going to be continuing to push him back. ByuN's going to have a mammoth performance of defense here, but no, looks like he wants to go on the offensive. He realizes he took down that Colossus, weakened the second one, and he wants to push on forward, but looks like his Vikings are missing.
Yeah, exactly. Just mainly a ground-focused army instead. Has been spotted by Hero. He is looking to replace that third Colossus that he did lose earlier, and still focusing on harass across the map. Oh, this time he is going to be finding damage at the third base.
Yeah, Hero is so incredibly active here, and he will be pushing back this entire mineral line. It's just so awkward as well because of the layout of Dragon Scales. That Prism can just jump between the third and the main constantly, and it's going to be really stressful for ByuN to deal with. Meanwhile, Hero just being so patient with this push at the front.
Yeah, ByuN just trying to force his way in towards that fourth base, but here we go from the side. In comes the surround with those Zealots. We do have a great anti-armor missile on those Zealots, though.
Yeah, pretty good fight for ByuN. I mean, all the tanks are cleaned up, so that is the backbone of his army gone. The army very overstimmed as well, so wise decision to back off against these Colossus. And Hero recognizing that as well is going to be putting on the chase.
Yeah, exactly. The Colossi did survive. The army is very battered, very bruised, and ByuN is getting ready to maybe even look to engage.
Oh, the splash damage is absolutely terrifying here. So many of the units of ByuN going down. He is starting to break through now. If he can take down all three Colossus here, I don't mind his spot at all. And it looks like that's exactly what he's going to be able to do. So ByuN getting himself back into this game, and Hero maybe unnecessarily taking that fight there.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't need to. He could have taken his win and backed off from there and just gotten his fifth base up and running. But no, the Colossi count does get reset. And we're in a pretty interesting position here. Hero, he still has the better economy, but it takes quite some time to rebuild those Colossi, as he still only has one Robo.
Yeah, that was a great fight there for ByuN. But Hero, he still has his fourth base up and running, as we do see ByuN trying to establish his quick response from ByuN, getting away from this Zealot Warp Prism here. He has been responding to that very well, hasn't lost too much to it.
Yeah, exactly. He hasn't lost too much, and it looks like the Vikings are going to be able to shut that down as well. The Prism does fall. Now he can focus on the main armies.
Yeah, that is huge. And wow, he's going to be scouting out this run by on the side here. That warp in finishing is really fortunate for him as well. I think it's better to force that cost of the Zealots and then pick them off.
Exactly, but we do see the fourth base of ByuN going to be denied for the time being. His army is looking to respond though, but we have an aggressive blink on forward. Hero trying to force a kill, but it looks like he will not be able to get that CC.
Yeah, this is crazy from Hero going on the aggression here, and I think he is going to be punished a little for it.
Yeah, he'll be losing some of these gateway units, but the Colossus has arrived. Only a single Colossus, and the mine shots have reset. They do go off on those Warping and Zealots.
Yeah, those mines actually brilliantly placed there to take out the Warping in units, and this is such an exciting game that we have between these two players now. Hero getting his fifth established up and running, looking to put on a huge amount of pressure here with this offbeat timing, and ByuN, he is more than happy to play this kind of game.
He really is a massive EMP, but the Novas are here. The Disruptors have arrived. The second Robo did get up and running as the fifth base was on the way, and now Hero is getting into double Disruptor production.
Yeah, Disruptors have been revealed. ByuN still having to kind of camp and be very careful here, as he is only on 1-1 to the 2-2 of Hero.
Yeah, exactly. His upgrades are lacking a little bit. Meanwhile, Zealot Runby is going to be hitting the left-hand side at the same time. The Stalkers are pushing forward as well. They're going to be able to focus on some of these Widow Mines, but a lot of Stalkers go down.
Oh, yeah, Hero looks like he just queued up those attacks on the mines and is getting out multitasked a little bit by ByuN here. So great presence of mind from ByuN to split up that army, but now we have a massive warp in of 2-2 gateway units, and ByuN has to be really careful not to take that trade unattended.
Yeah, exactly. As ByuN himself is now being pulled apart, the Disruptors have arrived once again. That fourth base is going to be lifted up. We see that Hero can't really push in any further, but the flanking reinforcements were wild. He was able to just suddenly turn that fight in his favor.
Yeah, 2-2 Zealots are a terrifying thing, and ByuN is now really just on a survival mission, trying to survive until his 2-2 kicks in.
Yeah, but even if he does, he's still stuck on 3 bases. Once again, Hero posturing at that fourth base location, just not allowing ByuN to ever expand.
Yeah, and it looks like ByuN maybe just going to move over to the left and try to take that base, but that just opens up more angles of attack into this natural.
Yeah, it really does. But what other choice does ByuN have as he does rotate his bases over? He is reconsolidating his army. Meanwhile, Hero has hit a really nice disruptor count and is now incorporating more Colossi.
Yeah, Heroes improved this army very quickly behind the aggression that he's putting on. And ByuN, he is getting pretty close to his 2-2. Almost takes out this War Prism here.
Yeah, Prism does take a lot of hits. One more volley away from going down. Meanwhile, the armies do clash in the middle, and Nova does go off on the bio.
Yeah, solid connection there, and this army is just terrifying for Hero. ByuN might need to split up his army, try to see if he can get a big surround, a big sandwich in the middle of the map on this army, but Hero is going to be very careful not to let that happen.
Yeah, exactly. We do see the armies shocking around. They actually do miss each other. ByuN is fully aware of the army location as he did scan, and he's just going for a base.
Yeah, he realizes that he can't really trade here, so he's just going to try to get some damage and get out of there.
Yeah, at the same time, a Prism does warp in a Zealot wave into the main base of ByuN, so damage is being done elsewhere. Meanwhile, Hero, he's looking to hunt down the army of ByuN.
Yeah, and ByuN, meanwhile, trying to deal with the Prism, the Zealots in the main, so his attention will be split. He could have this army cut off here. He might have this army cut off here.
Yeah, we do have a bit of a surround set up on top of ByuN's army. He's going to be losing everything. Does go for a hot pickup, but barely does escape.
Yeah, nice pickups here, but oh my god, look at the massive warp in his main, and he is 2-2 versus 2-2 now, so with the micro, he will be able to clean this up, but this is just such a distraction.
Yeah, it really is. As Hero, he ignores the drop. He's like, "Well, you can stay in the top right-hand corner of the map if you want. I'm just going to take down some more bases." As he does hit the third base, the SCVs are exposed!
It's crazy. Hero just plays this so incredibly aggressively.
Yeah, he really does. He just doesn't stop rolling. He doesn't stop going, and the third base is going to be going down. Some of the SCVs will escape. The army of ByuN has returned home, but has returned to Novas.
Yeah, he does snipe down one of those disruptors, forces out a lot of these Novas, so he will be looking to jump on the rest of those disruptors here if he can.
Oh my god, if he can, as more Novas are going to be going off, just shaving off the army of ByuN. He just can't get on top of this. Every time he tries, there's another Nova waiting for him. GG gets called. Hero takes the 2-0 and forces the ace match.
Wow, GG. Incredible game coming out from Hero. It's very rare that you see that particular style played with such aggression, but with that, teams are going to be tied up, and I am so excited to see an ace match.
Yeah, that was so damn close, by the way. Like, in general, if Hero had slipped up one too many times, and if he had lost one game, that would have been it. That would have been the end of the series, but no, he takes the 2-0 in the end. GG, well played. And now, who is the ace match, or who's going to be fielded as the ace player, especially considering some people have been bringing it up. The Team Liquid map contest is currently going on, and some of these players are competing in that as well.
Yeah, someone was saying that Hero played already, and that these were this was a replay of the Hero one. Okay. Yeah, Shopify really believing in the form of Scarlett today.
Yeah, okay. So, hold on. So that's why we didn't have cameras, by the way. Whenever they do play from replays, there are no cams showing. So we are going to that ace match, and yeah, this is gonna get interesting.
Yeah, okay. I was not expecting Scarlett to get sent out, but maybe they're thinking that Scarlett can snipe out Hero. Maybe ByuN not feeling so confident to go up against Hero again after that 2-0.
Yeah, it does make plenty of sense here that ByuN would not be fielded. But this is a really risky move here. But here we go. We're loading on in, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Dragon Scales for Shopify Rebellion. It is Scarlett.
And in the top left-hand corner of the map for Dragon KZ Gaming, coming fresh off that 2-0, it is Hero.
Oh boy, and fun fact, we didn't think that Wardy was going to cast. Wardy is now casting this because this match is played live, and Wardy's final for TLMC is going to be put on hold until this match finishes.
Oh my god, okay. Alright, good on you, Wardy. Really, that's sick. That's really cool from Wardy to allow that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's really cool that, of course, this match is going to be played out live, and really cool that Wardy can facilitate for that as well. Really cool that he'll at least be casting the ace match of this best of one. As a reminder, this is a best of one.
All right, so it all comes down to this is such an important match, and Hero, he has already been the hero of DKZ, getting that 2-0 that they desperately needed to get them to this ace match. It was looking like Shopify were going to get the win here.
It was. It really was. And oh my God, it is going all the way down to the wire. Oh, I'm going to be really impressed here with Scarlett if she can bring this back. Historically, she's had a really rough performance against Hero, specifically in ZVP. Hero is just on another level, but I'm sure she's coming in prepared.
Yeah, I mean, she must be feeling confident today for them to send her out. And yeah, this should just be a really exciting game either way. I feel like we haven't had an ace in a while.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute. I think this may be the first ace match of this week. I think we haven't had one since last week even, and even then, I think I may have been casting with Yaku or with Kuro or something like that. So, oh boy, it's good to see that once again, and yeah, it's gonna come down to this. Hero's gonna be going for a Stargate opener, so nothing too wild, nothing too crazy out of him, even though he totally could. He has such a wide array of different builds and possibilities in this matchup, in any matchup, to be fair.
By the way, I didn't see, but Scarlett does have the natural. Did she do the overpool?
I don't know. I'm gonna say she did.
Why not?
I was lost in Hero's eyes. Oh.
And she'd be able to work it out. I think we have an extra queen if she did, but it looks pretty normal.
Does for the time being, as the first adept is going to be shading across the map as well. Again, in typical Hero fashion, he is going to be as aggressive as possible with what little he has in the early game, whether it's adepts, whether it's his first Oracle as well. We'll see if Scarlett can keep up.
Yeah, as Hero, trademark aggression, as you were saying, he's going to be looking to get some damage with this adept, despite not splitting the bases. So yeah, I feel like he's just got one mode, especially on a day like today where he's already shown immense aggression against ByuN.
Yeah, the mode is go, Papi.
Go,
Send it. Yeah. There are no red lights here for Hero. Is he the is he the player that we were talking about? How if they were asked the train question, they wouldn't stop. They would speed up. Was that Hero or was that someone else?
No, I don't think that was Hero.
Okay.
I'm trying to think what Hero would do. I think maybe if you asked him the train question, he could be like, what if we had 2 trolleys and I had 2 levers and I controlled both of the trolleys at the same time? And it's like, are you asking anyone else this question? Because I could do their trolleys for them.
Yeah, you're like, can we have 2 trains and can they be coming at this from both angles, actually? And can I play chicken with the trains?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like, up the difficulty. This is too easy.
Yeah. As you do see, the Oracle working up at the third base and is going to be forcing out some of these spores here. Thankfully, Scarlett didn't lose too many drones. Meanwhile, we do see that transition point as well from Hero. Everything's looking quite standard.
Oh, wow.
Going into a Twilight Council and a Forge.
This is a very fast 4 adepts coming on in here. A bit of a Patty Mac move here, and he is going to be going for the split target fire as well to take down these drones.
Yeah, Classic does this as well. And typically when you do this, you actually don't have any adepts to defend the third base. So it's really risky because your third is quite vulnerable, but Scarlett is obviously just busy dealing with these adepts instead, and a lot of damage is being done.
Yeah, Hero is not messing around here. He did not come to play, and he is doing so much damage already.
5 drones go down alongside a lot of lings. We do see Scarlett racing those adepts back home to try and apply some pressure to that third base. But we have Stalkers, we have a shield battery just about to finish up as well. The third is defended.
Hero is really on another level today. He's playing so sharp.
Yeah, man, it's PvZ, Papi. Like this is. I don't know if I'm comfortable saying this is his matchup because we also know how good he can be like in PvP as well. Like it's
true.
He's just so good, just so damn good. As both Oracles are zooming across the map, Scarlett is going to be going for +1 melee, so going to be going for a more Ling Bane heavy style against Stalkers. Can work quite well, but the Oracles, they're not done. Neither are the Adepts apparently.
They're saying his matchup is just not PvT. Despite just 2-0 ByuN.
He did just 2-0 ByuN. That's the thing, right? Like I can't even say that.
Good.
Yeah.
He's just good. Give him the S tier.
Okay, give it to him.
Oh my God. Amazing Oracle micro. So clean there. Takes down 10 drones. And Hero is just absolutely showing his class this game. What an incredible pace he's setting.
Exactly, as the Oracle comes in for a safe strap into the main base as well. Scarlett does pull back in time, but has lost 10 workers. Ugh, her drone count not really what it needs to be. Does end up catching one of these Oracles at least. Almost brings it down, so she's going to have a little bit of breathing room finally.
Yeah, this is an absurd pace that Hero is setting. And there we go. Throwing down his own fourth at the same time that Scarlett throws down that fifth. So Scarlett is keeping up in that way, but this is just it's almost a claustrophobic game that Hero is putting down.
Yeah, exactly. As the fourth base does finish for Scarlett, but it is under threat. She's been droning so heavily, replacing all the workers that she has lost. As a result, her lings are just a little bit too slow, and this hatchery will go down.
Yeah, I mean, the relentless pressure of Hero to have that many Stalkers here already. This is a stunning game from Hero.
Yeah, it just goes to show like his macro is insane, even behind his insane control micro and harassment that he has been fielding here. We do see his army rotating over towards the would have been fifth base of Scarlett, and we'll see if she can keep it up. We'll see if Hero even waits to let it finish before he does dive on it, as it's still being produced and still can be cancelled.
Yeah, the Oracles are going to be linking up to support these, to support the Stalkers here. We do have, looks like it's going to be, okay, just a cancel on that base. Hero was trying to sync up the shots there, but didn't quite get it.
Yeah, exactly. Does cancel. Meanwhile, two massive stasis traps go off on these things, and as a result, Hero, he can fight this.
Yeah, Hero takes so many of those lings out of the fight. The Oracle's going to be dipping in now, using their pulsar beam to take out those lings. We finally do have roaches, but it's just a little bit too late. And yeah, beautifully timed by Hero. Actually drops back exactly when the stasis finishes.
That was actually insane. He drops back, cleans up even more of these lings, and Scarlett is still stuck on three-base economy. We see she's double expanding, she's triple expanding, taking her fourth, fifth, and a macro hatchery at the same time to try to keep up with the production of Hero, but Hero is not slowing down. He throws down 3 more stasis traps behind this army, and once again, this hatchery is going to be cancelled.
Yeah, Hero is playing almost a perfect game here. Just incredible pressure from start to finish, and so fast, so much multi-prong, such perfect micro as well. And wow, Charge is already finished up. He is harassing that base down to the south now.
Yes, Scarlett now knocked down to 2-base economy as the third base is not mining whatsoever. Meanwhile, Hero, he rotates back around. A massive stasis trap on the roaches as well. Oh my god.
Insane stuff. Now 5 Oracles being committed to fight the units. GG is called, and what a game from Hero.
GG, well played. A little bit of a celebration as well there from Hero. You love to see it, as he is a busy man and getting ready for his next series over in Wardy's TLMC. But GG, well played. DragonKy Gaming do take the series in the end 4-3, but it did come down to the ace match.
Yeah, GG, and Hero, he punishes Shopify Rebellion for not sending out ByuN again with just a stunning PVZ.
Yeah, again, like, Hero is the best Protoss player in the world for a reason. Of course, some people will talk about max packs, and I mean, we can have that argument, but he is one of the best, and especially in PVZ, like, his aggression, his multitasking, his macro, just everything coming together at once, it's overwhelming. Like, even to watch, it's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. There was just so much to keep track of there. So props to the Observer as well, keeping up. But there we go. Hero single-handedly brings his team back from a 3-1 deficit, and it gets the win for DKZ.
Yeah, congratulations to DragonKy Gaming. Shout out to all the players that did compete tonight as well. Shout out to Harstem. Harstem causing the upset over Dark and actually forced the ace match to actually occur. That was kind of a big moment for Shopify when that happened. And shout out to Scarlett as well for taking the 2-0 over Oliveira. Really strong showing in ZVT. Unfortunately, they didn't quite have an answer for Hero.
Yeah, they just didn't have anyone that could compare to the level that he was on today. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, what can you do when an S-tier player like that, or should be an S-tier player like that, comes in that kind of form? There's really not much you can do to stop them. But here we go. We do have the standings, and wow, this is all to play for throughout the middle of this table.
It really is. We have Onside Gaming as number 1 alongside Team Basilisk. They have not lost a single series, not yet, as they both have really good, strong performances. Meanwhile, just underneath them at 3rd place, Team Liquid. They've been popping off as well. They've been putting in a lot of work. It's not just Clem, it's also his teammates as well that have been really supporting him.
Yeah, I didn't actually realize that Liquid was doing that well.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go, mate. Both Skillus, Clem, and alongside some of their other players have been doing so well for themselves, so it's great to see them performing well. DKZ there at that 4th place spot, still respectable, but a little bit lower than we would have expected, followed by Team Abydos and the Dark Horse, or should I say the Dark Camel, as the Starving Camels, 6th place.
Yeah, Starving Camel's still in that top 6 there, ahead of Shopify and Psystorm and Platinum Heroes.
I mean, they beat Shopify. I mean, what can I say? Like, the Starving Camels have been popping off. They are the ones to keep an eye on, and best of luck to the other teams, as that does wrap up our broadcast for this week of World Team League. But of course, we have plenty more weeks to come. I believe 12 weeks in total, or, sorry, 11 weeks, I think, in total. And yeah, be sure to stay tuned. Be sure to come back next week.
Yeah, there we go. We are all done for tonight. So really fantastic games, especially that second series.
Definitely, definitely. So I hope everyone enjoyed themselves in the chat. If you want to tune into some more CranKy Ducklings, we're going to be live tomorrow with ESL Open Cup Asia. That is going to be tomorrow at what time? At 6 p.m. KST, and that is going to be followed directly by OSC King of the Hill as well. So back-to-back broadcasts tomorrow for some more Korean and European StarCraft action. So if you enjoyed the casting and if you want more of it, then check us out there tomorrow in less than 24 hours.
Yeah, the casting never stops for that.
You know, I was messaged earlier about doing a replay cast for the ESL EU replacement match.
Yeah.
And I was like, I looked at my calendar and I was like, I guess.
You gotta sleep at some point.
I didn't sleep all day today, to be fair. I mean, okay. I say all day after the turtle tussle. I went to So keep an eye on our social media, as we may end up casting the replacement match, which I believe was not casted by any English stream today, just because so much else was going on, like WTL and the Team Liquid map contest. So we will attempt to squeeze that in at some point in our schedule. But outside of that, thank you so much, Asher, for joining me today. Thank you so much for casting, and yeah, I hope you've been doing well. It's good to see Rufio just taking another pose.
He is chilling. Nice and warm.
When's the next stream, Bobby? When's the next stream?
Oh, maybe next weekend.
Next weekend, yeah. Have we settled on another game to play other than StarCraft? Have we settled on a?
I was thinking of playing Resi 2, but I kind of just felt like playing StarCraft and then turning the stream off last time, so it's fine.
Fair enough. So if you want to tune into some lovely Terran gameplay, not just that, but also a lovely sleeping cat in Rufus, then be sure to check out Asher's stream. It's amazing, it's beautiful, it's a lot of fun, especially when we do play some point-and-click adventures, which I'm sure will come back at some point. I'm sure. So follow him there. Otherwise, light_VIP on Twitch and Twitter. I stream throughout the week. This week, I promise.
Diablo
2. I will finish Diablo 2 this week. I've been playing through it on my channel, and I have been taking like a 2 or 3 week hiatus from it. But I will be coming back and hopefully finishing it just in time for Diablo 4. Hopefully.
Nice. That's so soon. Oh, it's next weekend.
It's next week. Oh my god. I have no time, Buffy. I have no time. I'll do my best. If you're interested, you can follow me there. Otherwise, all things CranKy Ducklings, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Discord, all over the place. Again, we're live tomorrow with some ESL Asia. And shout out to Kuro as well for handling the production for WTL and keeping up with our nonsense, because we got a little bit rowdy tonight. Thank you so much, Kuro. Yeah, just a little bit.
All right.
Some of the earthquake talk.
Oh yeah. It's a story.
It's so good. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.